And hello to all my Pisces friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for May 2022. Now today they've dialed up a love spread for my Pisces, a specific love corner spread dedicating an entire general reading for Pisces all about love. Going to be interesting. What is going on in your love corner, guys? They want to talk about it. They want to get into it. We're going to set it up in the storyline format. So this is going to cast a very wide net across all the different Pisces. It allows me to be quite accurate because it's like a lot of little mini readings all in one. So we're getting all the Pisces kind of spread here, all across the different parts of the zodiac sign. So it's really all about finding the story that is right for you. There may be multiple stories in here that resonate with you, and that's okay if they do, but at the end of the day, it's all about finding the one. So if the first, 1, 2, or even 3 don't make sense to you, just bear with it till, the next one comes. Now, the different stories, there can be 3, sometimes 4, 5, 6 if Spirit is really chatty. So we may have a lot to talk about. Storyline spreads usually do take up my entire table or close to it. They've asked that I conclude your reading at the end. We're going to do a very fun one. It's called Animal Totems. They asked that I do 2 animal totems for Pisces. So we're going to do a transition. They want you to go from one characteristic set to the other characteristic set, and they use animals to show us what those are. So, and also the runestone, guys. I'm implementing runestones in your reading here. So we're going to pull a runestone for Pisces for the month of May, also at the end of your reading. So lots to do, lots to cover. Let's get into it right now. We'll waste no more time. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. I'm going to bring you in right now so you can watch. There we go. This part I like to do always live and on camera. These are my ritual cuts. Basically cuts the deck into 3 different pieces, put it back together in a separate order, and it satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot. Same procedure for personal private reading, so it's just like you're here with me. There we go. All right, so this is set up in the storyline format, which I start with 5 cards and expand out from that. So here's your first 5. And that is actually going to be it. It's actually a shorter spread than I imagined, at least core cards. This is the main thing I want you to see. It's the most important part. We are going to tack on and make this bigger. Kind of see where we're at here. Yep, so we're going to do 3 stories. It's going to look like this. Still in view. Perfect. Actually move that over. Now I'm going to tack on some cards. Just 1 here. 1 there. And 1 here. They actually made this quite simple on me, guys. I wasn't expecting that. I was thinking love spread, storyline. Oh, they're just going to clutter my whole table. It's going to be a Pisces fiasco. That's actually not what's going on here at all. It just goes to show you never know what you're going to get. Never know. Never know what Spirit has in store. So this is everything. Checking my inverts right now. We don't have much blocked at all except for that story. And since that story alone is the one that's completely blocked, I'll do a discard only on that story. It's basically asking Spirit, you want me to keep it that way or you want it upright? And they want it red just like that. So it's blocked for a reason. So check the view. See if you can see it all. I believe you can. Very quite clear where all my stories are because of the way I have it kind of laid out there. So let's get to work, Pisces. Let's do her. Let's get her done. Okay, where to start? Well, let's go with the blocked one first. Why are you so blocked? It's got happy vibes down there too. All right, so this is a love situation. Let me first give you the disclaimer before we get into these stories that your love, since it's a love reading, doesn't matter if you're single, coupled up, there may be certain parts that I specify, certain areas too, but overall, your love corner is a big part of your life. It's not just your relationship partner, if you have one. It is not just your pursuit to find somebody if you're single. And your love corner is huge. Anybody close to your heart can come in there. I've even seen pets come in love readings. It's anybody close to your heart, like family members can eke in there, close friends, all that kind of stuff, guys. So just keep that in mind as I go through these stories. Story number 1. They bring up a social imbalance here. This is social stuff that needs to get worked out, that you know, you're either having, it's an extreme. You're either having way too much fun here. For my Pisces in story 1, it's just like you're going out all the time, you're being reckless with your money, you're spending too much, perhaps drinking too much, all that kind of stuff. Or you're not doing enough of it at all. You're kind of home alone, being kind of hermit mode, isolationism, not going out, not doing anything fun. You're stuck on your phone or your device or your Netflix like all the time. So it's one or the other is basically where we start. They do show that there is something here in your love corner that you're really concerned with, or they bring it up kind of like a mental, almost like a choice, or there's something that you're kind of playing out in your mind here. Should I or shouldn't I? Or, you know, what happens if I do this versus if I stay, or if I do this versus this? It's kind of like that. And they're saying that this really eats up a lot of your mental rent, if you will. So this is living rent-free in your head, and it's causing a lot of either stress or anxiety, and you're not really seeing things clearly. You're not really sure the direction of which way you should take this situation with your love corner. So they could be talking about family, friends, your relationship partner, or, you know, just about anybody close to your heart, maybe even somebody you're dating. Probably less likely that one. But the other thing they show here is we have the card that represents kids for me is upside down. It's also the card of nostalgia, but in a love reading, this is mostly going to be about children. So the children are coming in blocked. It's basically saying that they're off. You know, this whole situation is setting them off, and we need to get this turned around. We almost need to like prioritize them. We need to start thinking of the kids and get what they need straight. And this may not be about your kids. You could also be the kid. You know, this could be about your parents in some way, shape, or form. We do have happy here, so that is what they want. They want to push the fact that you have the key to your own happiness here. This woman is, in this case, dancing on I guess a lock of some form. It's a keyhole. It has a keyhole in it, so it's basically saying that you hold the key to your happiness. So what really makes you happy here? It's definitely not the stress. It's not the worry and the anxiety. So why do that? Why waste your energy? Why, if it's energy into the wrong person or energy into the wrong people, you know, don't waste your time with energy vampires. It feels like that is a type of thing coming up here for a lot of my Pisces. Trying to think what else I can say about this. I think we mostly got it covered. Since you have the key to your own happiness here, I really just need to kind of drive that home and push that. So once you start making up your mind about things and prioritizing things and getting things in a row, you don't even have to do it like in the physical plane, like make the actual change. You can just figure it out up here. And that's kind of what they show you're trying to do, except that you're worried about things. You're worried about perhaps future results that aren't here yet. And that could be completely illusionary stuff. So don't get too stuck in your own head with things, okay? Make it about the kids. Make it about this social health and getting back on course there in story 1. Story number 2. My love readings are, this just kind of dawned on me, but my love readings are probably very different than most people expect. If you've been through my love readings before, I guess you kind of know what to expect. All right, so story number 2. We have really nurturing money here. That may be something that you just really hold close to your heart, and that's why it's coming through for a love reading, but there is a lot of my Pisces are doing something really good with money here. And if you aren't yet, may I suggest that this may be something that could be you that you're not aware of right now. Okay, so this could be something like, because the very next card, let me just kind of read the next one, rip the Band-Aid off. They're talking about the devil here. And this is, usually the devil represents something that has bondage or control over you that you don't want. So a lot of time, it can represent like a bad habit. It could be, you know, a bunch of different things too. It could be a person, it could be a situation, whatever. But in this deck that they wanted me to use for you, there is, in this case, it's a cat, but he's wearing a mask. So it's somebody presenting themselves perhaps not how they truly are, kind of like that all that glitters is not gold type, you know, phrase. That's kind of what's going on here. Or just back to the base definition, which is that something's got a bind on you here. And it could be affecting your finances, and that's why you're taking control of this now. You're trying to at least maybe cut back or deal with this or something, and it could even be for your family. That's why it's coming up in the love reading. Maybe this is not just for you. Maybe this affects other people in a great capacity here in some form. They do show time for a nap, so there's an element of rest that has to occur here. It's almost like you're doing too much here. Maybe you're just super mom or super dad, and you're just trying to do 100 things at once. And this is like your thing that you just kind of fall back onto, relieve some stress or whatever like that. So like I said, it's very habitual energy. Doesn't mean that we're talking about a habit, but whatever this behavior is very like a habit. It's got a control on you, okay? And it's usually not a good one. So it's time for a nap. It's time to put this to rest. It's time to back off of it if this is not something that we're already talking about that you're doing. You may want to consider it because it presents itself very good in May to do that. So there's story 2. Before we get into story 3, I got to tell you about the moon cycles, the moon cycle forecast. I like to give you guys that every single month so you know what is coming. We have the full moon, May 16th. That's the best time to get anything out of your life that you don't want there. Get it out. Put it out to the street. Let the garbage men take it away. That could very well be people. That could very well be habits. Story 1, story 2. This could also be emotional baggage, something we haven't talked about. This could be getting rid of anything old, selling some old stuff, finishing projects, getting stuff out, right? So that's the energy of the middle of the month. Doesn't mean you have to do these things on the 16th. Just anywhere around the middle presents itself very good for you guys to do that and implement that positive change that you're trying to do. Now, adversely, we have the new moon energy. That is May 30th. That's the best time to bring anything brand new into your life. We don't have anything new that we're talking about yet. We have another story to go, but it doesn't matter what it is, really. This could be new diet, new exercise, new money, new love. Maybe your old love ain't working no more. Maybe you just need a brand new love, period. You're just looking maybe for new work, new job, new way to make money, all that kind of stuff. Presents itself much better for you beginning or end of the month. Doesn't have to be May 30th. In the beginning of May, I guess I should let you know, that's new moon energy too, because we're getting new moon energy from April. That's eking into the month. So those things are much better placed if it's new, beginning or end of the month. Now, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. If this is anything that you're interested in or confuses you and you want a little clarification on, I've put together a visual aid. It's very simple to follow. It is on the website. It's absolutely free, scottsagent.com. You find it on my videos page. It is on the very bottom of that. That's where it's parked, and you can just check that out. It's there for May as well as June, and that's there just as a guide to help get you through some things and get you to figure out that, the ebbs and flows work better when you work with them. Much easier to walk downhill than uphill. Much easier to swim with the current than against it. That's the moon cycles. Let's do story 3 here. My love story 3. A lot of you are really trying to balance your love corner with another corner of your life. I'm looking ahead to see what that is. They didn't tell me what it is, so it's going to be probably a mixed set. A lot of you, for most people, it's usually work, but it doesn't mean that it is. For some of you, it could be health and home, family, same thing. With health, balancing that. But most people, it's balancing that with work, okay? It could also be financial, where you're balancing your home life with trying to keep afloat. The economy is in not doing so great, and there's all these crises going on. Gas is expensive and so forth. So it doesn't matter what this is that you're trying to balance. That's what they talk about. They show that you're doing a good job of this, but it is a delicate surgery. Here in this deck they wanted me to use for you guys, it is the 2 of Pentacles. This is a bird that's holding a key. So if they're letting you know you have the key to this balancing act, but you got to be delicate with it because this key is actually a grenade. It's actually a pin to a grenade. So it's a delicate move here that needs to happen in your love corner. And this is something that affects your family more than likely. The other thing that they talk about here is that there are a lot of choices here. That makes me feel like this is more for my singles here. They're letting you know not to settle, guys. Do not settle with somebody who's not the right person. That kind of makes me feel like there could be ekage into the other stories here with that. We have here a woman holding onto a horse that is just decaying, and it's basically showing a path, and that this is a path that is just not a pleasant one. Okay, so don't think that this is the only way for you, because it's not. There are many choices in the month of May for you. And that is actually a very empowering thing. That's letting you know that you don't have to feel like you're stuck, or you don't have to feel like you're settling at all. You can really just kind of get away from that whole mindset, if you will. They do show that things are moving in a positive direction, even if you feel like they aren't. That is my 6 of Swords here. In this deck specifically, it's a person in a boat. The boat is moving in a good direction. It's moving to my right, which is my future. Problem is, the person is looking to the left. I'm going to actually show you this card here. I'm going to zoom in on it for you, show you a nice little picture so you can see the visual aid of what I'm talking about here. But this represents moving in the right direction, even though you're looking the wrong way, feeling like it's not. You may feel like people are out to get you. That's the piranhas underneath the boat, feeling like you're under attack at all times. But this is moving in a positive direction. We just got to get you to turn around and face the correct way, which is the future. Okay, don't be obsessed or worried about the future, but at the same time, you got to be in that present moment with a positive outlook, and you got to turn this around so that you're facing the right way. They do show me with the Angel Oracle card fork in the road, so that's letting me know back to the choices. It's almost like choices on top of choices. You guys got a lot of different ways this can go here in story 3, and that is very good. It's very good. I like to see a lot of choices. Just, you know, sometimes there can be too many choices. That's probably not the case here that we're talking about, but this is a fork in the road, so this is a major deal, and that is probably why they wanted to talk about it. I would say most of my Pisces are probably going to be somewhat here in my story 3, but I really feel like this is the kind of reading where there may be some carryover between the stories, which means that multiple stories likely will resonate with you to some capacity. And finding the context of that, of course, is key, because it is a general reading. We have a lot of Pisces tuning in, so that's that. Now let's get into your runestone. While I'm still looking at the cards, I want to pull your runestone. Give these guys a quick shuffle here. And dive in there. Here we go. Pisces runestone. Show you right there. The arrow up represents warrior. They want you to be fierce. They want you to go after this here in May. May is the time to put on your warrior masks. If we go back to story 2, we talked about a person in a mask. You could be this person in a mask, but this mask is your warrior mask. This is not a mask to show, to hide away from anything. It's a mask to be fierce and to go after what it is you're trying to do, whether it's breaking this habit we talked about here in story 2, be fierce, whether it is in story 1 to go after your true happiness, whether it's story 3 and you just have all these different choices and you're trying to figure out what's best for you. Be fierce, be strong, go after it. You have the tools. You can walk confidently down May Street. Okay, so that's your warrior runestone. Very good. Now let's get into your animal totems. Always fun stuff there. Such an interesting reading for Pisces. Can't do that one. There's one of them. And we're doing 2, so I need, that one's in major. Can't do that. Can't do that. I think I can do that one. Yeah. All right. Here we go. Let's figure this out. I got my cheat sheet here, because I got so many of them that I can't memorize them all. At least I haven't yet. So the first one is going to be that we're transitioning out of is a butterfly. Butterfly, guys. We're moving from a butterfly into a whale. We are moving from a butterfly into a whale. So going from enjoying the beauty of things to enjoying the beauty of emotions. Water in tarot is emotions. Whales live in the water. Butterflies do not. So there's a huge takeaway there from the transition. So the butterfly, you know, enjoying the beautiful part of life, moving around with very little regard for what's going on. Just very pretty thing to look at. It basically means the beauty of life. Now, moving into a whale, you know, especially the whale that, this is not a killer whale. I have a different animal totem for killer whale, like an orca, like Shamu. That's not this. This is a big whale. This is like a blue whale or a humpback whale, you know, the peaceful whales. And this is about being large in the month of May for you guys. So move away from just being the casual observer to being large. Take up some space. It kind of goes back to that warrior runestone in a lot of ways. Now, the way that you're going after it, though, in May is the runestone described it as fierce, and the animal totem described it more as be seen, be large, take up space, make people notice you. You don't have to necessarily attack, or, for example, they could have given me a hyena if they wanted me to tell you to be loud and obnoxious, or like a rooster, something like that. They didn't do that. They gave us whale, and I think that's mostly so that we could focus on the emotional aspect of this. So you're going to be riding emotions in May for a lot of my Pisces. Now, this is going to be, what part of the ocean are you in? Okay. What's going on in your life that is causing these oceans to go either calm or go all over the place, right? So the whale has to traverse these things, and you can be large in that moment. You can coast through the water just like the whale does. You don't see the whale like flopping around, and when the seas are high, it figures it out. It dives when it needs to dive. It gets to its depth that it needs to get to, so that surface stuff doesn't bother you the same way. Kind of like a thicker type skin. And that can also kind of be in reference to like the blubber of the whale too, and its very padded skin. So that I think that's the biggest takeaway from the transition from butterfly into whale, is the size, and it's navigating those emotions in May because they're coming, and it's all about what you do with it. So that I think we've been through everything. The last thing I have to tell you about is the newsletter program. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter program if you haven't. I do one newsletter email a month. It's just for updates and what's going on, promo codes, save you guys money on readings. Every once in a while, I do a big giveaway to my newsletter group. I just did it right now. This last month, my newsletter people are beta testing my brand new product I'm excited to tell you guys about. It is my health and chakra scrub mini audio reading. And it's wonderful because you've probably seen me, if you've seen my work, you've seen me do these spreads before, more than likely. I do them often in general readings, but the best part is that now it's offered just all about you. So it's extremely accurate. It's not the Pisces bubble energy that we're dealing with here. So that's something you can check out on the website. And like I said, while you're there, sign up for the newsletter so you don't miss anything free ever again, because I take really good care of my newsletter people, and there's lots of good things in those newsletters too. So that is going to be your entire reading, guys. Thank you so much for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe so you see the future videos. Take care and have a great May. Be large.